Hello everyone, I'm Silverraptor again, and welcome back to another episode of Dreadnought. I will be doing a few more of these videos of voiceover, as I did record a number of videos late at that night where I wouldn't be able to record my voice, but I want to talk over about this game because, like I said, I am absolutely loving it. So again, I'm going to be switching up to my Dreadnought class. Like I said, it is my favorite class of ship. And the thing about the Dreadnought class is, while it is the slowest of all the ships, it has the most amount of armor and firepower all in one, so it can definitely dish out a lot of firepower and be able to sustain in the fight as long as possible. Not invincible, but just really hard to dislodge. So as you can see, we are all gearing up and ready to go with all the different ships, and I will be talking about different command and consoles and tips and tactics that I've been developing in my few games that I've played so far. But let's get this show on the road, as the game is about to begin. So here we are, warped in and ready to go. So like in the previous game, I went to auxiliary thrusters. You can switch your auxiliary power to 3 different thrusters: movement speed, shields, and amplified weapons. Now, as you can see, I'm seeing that there's an enemy just keeping a track, and this is actually a different game mode. Instead of just straight up brawl between capital ships, we have NPCs all over the map, including a command ship each. Now, each time you kill an NPC or a player, you get points, and each team needs to accumulate a certain amount of points in order to win the game, while trying to save their ships as well. So I'm basically going into a defensive position. I'm waiting for the enemy to come for our command ship, so I want to go and save it as much as possible. Try to fire at an enemy, and here we have a really fast kind of destroyer or frigate. It's a little annoying. I switched. Now each ship has 2 different sets of weapons that have demonstrating that I was firing. This one has the main cannon, which does quite a bit of damage and goes to long range. And then I've got repeater cannons, which I fire a whole lot of cannon fire in like a rapid fire mode, but does less damage overall. Now, as I see a ship right here, and I'm engaging it with my long range cannon. It is wisely going behind the wall there to escape. Here comes another of the that frigate-type cruiser, and I'm going to be opening up with those repeater cannons again. And I'm trying to aim for the sweet spot, basically where he'll be running into my bullets. I managed to guess correctly a few times, but he does fly away in time. Now he does get close to me. I'm trying to get my main cannons on top of him. I open up my repeater cannons again, but he quickly warps out, and I still have not gotten the kill. But I'm fine with that. I'm just trying to scare off potential enemy ships. I see that that little frigate is flying off, but I pay him no bother. Now this ship right here, in front of us, my ally is a special artillery ranged cruiser. It does a lot of damage, but doesn't have much health. So I launch a Vulture missile barrage. It's heading for this destroyer, very long range, as I am firing my main cannon at. Kind of backing off a bit as the enemy is trying to acquire me. But I want to make sure I maintain my fire on it. And I activate my shield just in the nick of time as a massive explosion appears right next to it, blunting the majority of that. Here again, those annoying little cruisers are on top of us. So I'm just trying to shoot, and I'm just trying to shoot him and keep him off of our command ship. I see that there's a bunch of missiles, but I don't want to activate my point defense lasers to shoot them down yet, because it does have limited range, and once you activate it, it does run out. So I did activate them now. They are going to shoot the lasers as they come forward. Only a couple missiles actually come through. But here we go. We managed to destroy one of the enemy ships. And again, I'm falling back to a defensive position because I am at half health. Here comes an enemy fast frigate cruiser. Hits me with a torpedo, but I do successfully manage to take it out. But I am heavily damaged. As you can see on the left-hand bar, they have our my health is basically in the red, so I'm basically trying to hide and trying to get my damage control up, but unfortunately there was an enemy ship that was behind us, and it did take me out successfully. And it looks like it's a destroyer and cruiser combo that did that. You basically see the last ship that killed you. I went ahead and decided to see how my rest of my allies are doing, and they are just engaging the enemy in basically point-blank range. It's time now to respawn, and as you can see, we are winning. We are winning this fight, but unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, we're just playing up winning this fight. It's kind of hard to talk while watching and try to figure out where I'm going, what I'm doing, and what I'm thinking of at the time. So here I am going to engage against this enemy ship. I activate shields and I've started launching my vulture missiles. He launches his own missiles against me. So I activate my countermeasures a little too early. As you can see, it is active, but the missiles are too far away for the lasers to start shooting them down. But now they are able to start beginning to shoot down the missiles. And I successfully take out that ship as well. So there's a few fighters around. I'm just going to just shoot and take them out with my main cannon. They are worth a few points, 10 points each. So if there's no enemy around and you see a few NPCs in this mode, just shoot them, rack up a few extra points. Help out your team for the points that you need to win the game. So now I'm trying to figure out where to go. And I decide what better way to jump in than basically jump in. So now I need to figure out, and there is the command ship, able to provide enough firepower to be able to help that out. I raise shields as I am starting to be acquired and unleashing my repeater cannons right onto the target ship down below. And I instantly begin to drop altitude as I need to preserve basically my, trying to minimize my signature so people can't hit me. My point defense lasers were not active, so I was not able to shoot down those missiles as they were coming in. Now that green laser is my ally who's actually healing me with a healing beam. That's a type of cruiser, so there's kind of a support class in this game. Here's another cruiser going in, and I am going to try to get right alongside to hit it with a broadside plasma barrage. Now each ship positioning is crucial, and for this ship, when you have it point sideways to an enemy ship, you fire those green laser plasma broadsides, which do a huge amount of damage, which I was able to get the enemy by surprise. But he activated shields, and his ally cruiser ship is able to provide just enough healing to keep him alive and to survive through my repeater barrage. Now he hit me with his own plasma broadside, so I am basically trying to hit him with everything possible. And as I can see, I am not actually doing enough damage. So basically, it's a Dreadnought healer versus a Dreadnought healer, and I decided I want to get out and behind him. So I jumped quickly 4 kilometers behind him, and the reason why I did this is now I've got full view of that healer ship. And if that healer ship falls, then that Dreadnought will quickly fall as well. My ally is trying to chase after me, but I need to keep him alive as well as possible. I managed to hit that healer ship with a full plasma broadside and destroys it. And now this Dreadnought has my full weapon payload on top of it, with no healer to be able to save it. So I quickly amplify my weapons because I've got to heal. He does not. All he has is shields, and we need to take him out. My plasma broadside is going to be up, and I fire that out to quickly take him out. And now quickly another warp out, just because I didn't know there were actually enemies around or not, but it turned out there wasn't. Instead, I am being hit by all sides, right into where the middle of the enemy was, and I'm basically trying to hold off the enemy as well as possible. I'm firing my missile barrage as this little cruiser ship does come back and finish me off. I knew I shouldn't have warped now, but I didn't at the time. This game is pretty tricky. All ships have positioning where they can only fire certain weapons in certain directions and what way they're facing. So you do need to keep that in mind with whichever ship you decide to get. So here we go. I'm just rotating between the different ships. I have respawned yet again. couple of fighter kills for the road. And, oh, here comes some more fighters, but that's my own NPCs. We want to keep those alive. So I'm maneuvering thrusters back into the thick of it, because one thing about this heavy Dreadnought class ship, you want to basically get into the thick of the fight, because you're all damage and all armor, and you want the enemy to focus you. So I see that there's some enemy. I'm trying to stay low enough that I can catch them by surprise. That smaller ship has just come over ahead. I'm able to quickly launch my Vulture barrage missiles against him. And I'm trying to acquire him, but like I said, being so slow, this ship is able to get away, it seems. I'm trying to move forward, but now he said he's come back. I'm going to be opening up with my repeater guns. And I'm not very successful in aiming. Knowing that those little ships are my biggest problem, I am going to just jump forward and try to take out a cruiser ship, but then I see that there's actually so many enemies there, I canceled my jump right there so that I could stay alive. Now there's some more missiles coming in. Again, I need to hold off on my anti-missile lasers, waiting for those missiles to actually come in, but that little cruiser is actually attacking us. It jumped pretty briefly. I activated my point defense lasers because the missiles should be arriving in time, and here they are, so my lasers will be able to successfully take out those missiles. There's a destroyer behind us that I noticed, and that needs to be destroyed. He's firing his own missiles. And so, knowing those missiles are coming, I am going to be quickly activating my warp drive to get the hell out. And I managed to get the final blow on that destroyer before warping out before the missiles hit. And managed to save myself some damage for the time being. My ally is healing me briefly with his heal ship. And there's some NPC assault ships behind us. Those are with quite a bit of points, so I do definitely want to destroy that. And the missiles have still been following me, have reacquired and landed on my side. Unfortunately, I've been healing enough. And we have now finally got enough kill points that we got the victory. So it was a lot more hectic. Score 5,000, 3,530. So this team was definitely more organized than the last one. And I hope you guys enjoyed this Dreadnought video. I hope to give you out or dish out more videos in the future.